It's an agenda, man. It's made for these kids to be brainwashed. Yeah. Listen to these same songs, see everything on the internet. It's really it's a mind fuck. Like if you let the kids turn on the radio, I'm sure 80% of the songs is about sex and it's about guns. So it's like, and the kids gonna know that, and they're gonna be 3-4 years old singing that shit, and they're gonna grow into that shit. So it's like you really gotta monitor and filter all of that stuff, because it's that'll destroy us. They figured that out. They know that we can control their minds with the radio, because music is so influential. If you use it in a negative way or a positive way, it don't matter. Like however you do it, like you got radio stations saying put the guns down, then the next song they're playing it's about guns. So it's like, where's the, it's all meant to happen.
You bougie bitches kill me. And if you don't get it together and drop these macho attitudes, you are never gonna have anybody bringing you anything, anywhere, any place, anytime, ever.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
All of you jealous, ugly bitches, can kiss my fabulous and very perky black ass. And yes, William, today, you're one of those bitches.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Barely Adulting Podcast, where we discuss news, relationships, pop culture, life issues, and so much more. I am your host, T. Marie. Y'all, we are in week 8 of the show. And if you have not done so already, go ahead and share, like, subscribe, and download. We are on all major platforms. We want to get the word out there. Share with your family and friends alike. Now, with that being said, y'all already should know we are going straight into our morning coffee segment, and then our grown folks table talk is right after that. But before we get started, I just want to say that I am very disappointed in myself, because I wait until the last minute every single time before I drop this episodes or the episodes prior to, right? I dedicated a whole day almost just for editing and getting ready and what the bam. And I kid you not, each and every time I procrastinate and wait until the very last minute to do any of this stuff. Like I was literally sitting in bed watching Lifetime shows. I was watching like a marathon of Married at First Sight, because honestly, I'm sucked in. You know, that's my show right now. So I've been watching season 11. I pick and choose my seasons. So this is the one with New Orleans. But anyway, I'm sucked in just like I was sucked in to Bridgerton. Just like I was sucked in to Blink Empire. Blink Empire is actually really good, by the way. And that's on Netflix. So you should go check it out. But regardless of all that, I wait until 1 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, or whatever, just to do something. Like, I don't understand why I've always been like this. But my brain seems like it doesn't start working or getting some type of motivation until 9 p.m. I kid you not. I could put on a calendar for 5:30 a.m., get up, work out, do all this other stuff. But I promise you, my motivation and my hard work or whatever it is, it does not come until the late night hours. I need to do better. I got to do better. But anyway, I'm not going to talk your head off. That was my little vent session or whatever, because, you know, like I said, I'm disappointed in myself right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into our morning coffee segment and get on with the show.
Anybody want coffee? I'm making coffee. Anybody want coffee?
All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with our morning coffee report. So first on the list, we have the 2 legends who passed away this week. Larry King and Cicely Tyson. Larry King passed away on January 23rd at the age of 87. Although he was rumored to have passed from COVID-19, his wife, Shawn, confirmed his death was from an infection which led to syphilis. King was a television and radio host who ended up hosting over 50,000 interviews during his career. Cicely Tyson, an actress and fashion model, passed away on January 28th at the age of 96. Before passing, she released a memoir titled Just As I Am. Her career spanned over 7 decades. She made history as the first Black woman to play the protagonist in the TV drama East Side, West Side in the 1960s. In other news, now former Seattle Seahawks offensive tackle Chad Wheeler has been charged with felony assault in a domestic violence case against his girlfriend. His bail is set at $400,000 according to court documents. He strangled, suffocated, and beat his spouse into unconsciousness twice and left her for dead. Domestic violence is not okay and oftentimes gets swept under the rug in this society. Visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline on the web to receive help on identifying what abuse looks like, finding resources in your area, and talk with someone who can help you take the necessary steps to getting help. Call 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233, or chat with someone online today. Last but not least, music artist couple T.I. and Tiny Harris have been accused of having a sex trafficking ring with underage girls. The allegations came from their former friend Sabrina Peterson, yet was denied by T.I. and his representative. Sabrina has also accused T.I. of putting a gun to her head earlier this month in front of children, which in return caused Tiny to stand up and defend her husband. T.I. responded to the new allegations in an Instagram post, stating, "Whatever we've done with consensual adults." He went on to saying that we've never made anybody do anything, we've never sexually trafficked anybody. With this being said, this is your morning coffee. I hope you drink up. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Barely Adulting Podcast. I have another special guest with me in the, I would say studio, but this is definitely my living room. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself for the audience.
How y'all doing? I go by Haze, young artist, young producer from Chicago. I got a new project coming out February 12th. It's called From Here On Out. Been making music for 8 years now. Been rapping for 2 years now. Just trying to figure out the best way I can change the game as much as possible.
Now, you know what's crazy? I've known you since high school.
Yeah.
And after a while, when I contacted you and everything, I was like, dang, that's crazy that, do I have to call you by your stage name? I'm calling you by your government name. Like, what is it?
Right.
It's for a long time. I'm just like, why do I know this man just as Gold Haze now? Like, I don't understand. That's how big of an impact that you've made already in such a short amount of time. And, 8 years does not seem super long, but you have been changing the game. Because I've noticed a couple things in your bio that you failed to mention. Like, let's see, you have some features like Jordan, Adidas, Vans, Nike, Champion, Puma. Am I right?
Definitely. Oh, yeah, you're right. Definitely.
Look, can you tell us about that? Because you are a young, producer and everything. So to be able to put your name on these big companies this early into your career, how do you feel about that?
It's just a blessing, the fact that I can look back at those commercials and just hear my production on them. It's just amazing. It's like I used to dream about it. I used to set goals about it, but the fact that it's actually happening, it's just a blessing. It's a brand that I work with out in Germany by the name of BSTN, and they've been collabing with all of the brands you just named, like Nike, Adidas, Jordan, and basically we just make projects where we collab every time a release a drop. And it goes up every time. Like, a lot of people love it, and it's just good to see the reactions from it. And it really took me up to another level because it made people appreciate me in a new light. Like, as far as when you see the commercials, it makes it more official. It gives more life to the beats that I make. So it's just all about just keeping that going and just really bringing as much quality as I can to the production. The support I've been getting from the commercials so far has been amazing. Just staying consistent as possible, and just seeing it pay off. It's a blessing in that, just really seeing the work pay off.
That's so dope. But I do want to go back to the beginning of your career. Like, what inspired you to go into this industry at such a young age?
When you first started, you're really just doing it just to do it, in a sense. Like, you still a teenager and you don't know how far you can really take it because you're not looking at the 5 to 10 year plan. You just really focus on doing what you can do for that day. But it's like over time, the older I got, after high school, of course, I really started looking at it like really my life, because I really learned that I can't live without music, and it came more personal to me than anything, The more I started releasing projects and the more time I started putting in, it just felt like it was worth it because I was gaining new relationships and it was all from the music. And just anytime, I would get reassurance, anytime I'm going through something, the music would just lift me up. So it's like, if all these situations are happening and music is like the light to get me out of it, of course, my faith in God definitely, but it's like I would get signs like just keep doing the music. If that happened so many times, like over the years, it's like it's a reason. It's happening for a reason. So I just gotta continue to lead through that, and just live through that, and really embrace it. Embrace the fact that I'm an artist and a producer.
That's so dope because you said that you've been doing this for 8 years, but rapping for 2. What inspired you to go ahead and do the rap journey, like to just jump into that? Like, have you always wanted to rap and you just kind of stayed back from it? Like, what made you?
It's crazy. When I first started rapping, it was really surreal to me because I never really pictured myself rapping.
Mm-hmm.
It's still surreal to me when I hear myself on my beats. Like, it's crazy, but I feel like over time I really just became more of an artist. I started hearing things different due to how I was producing. I would just play with different ideas, and one day I was like, man, let me just try the studio. Let me go in there. Mm-hmm. And then that turned into me gaining the confidence off of just people supporting my music at the time, and that's how I really became an artist, just really believing in myself and then just trying to find ways to get them out of my comfort zone and really just trying to fill a void that I didn't see in hip hop in a sense, you know, like, because it was a time where the game was at a standstill for a minute and kind of got bored of it, you know, so I was really like just at a point where I was listening to nothing but the music I was making, or the people around me most definitely, but it's like I just wanted to add as much as I could to that as possible.
You know, as far as music today and everything else that's going on, you know, as kids, when we grow up, there's a lot of individuals that come up and say, I want to be in the music industry, right? I want to be a rapper. I want to do this. I want to do that. And there's so many people within the community actually like discourages that type of artistic drive. Did you ever get that from your family members, your friends, or anything like that when you were first making music? And then later down the line, when you felt like you were actually making a difference, did you still get that feedback?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I first started making beats, my mom was like, what are you doing? What is that? That noise? What is that noise in the back? You keep making the same beat. But now, like, I understand it because I grew so much and I needed that. You know, I was like tough love. Like, if you really want to do it, you got to really take it serious and find ways to grow from it. And I feel like my family, for the most part, they push me to keep me going because they always keep me focused. And just my family, my friends, I got a real strong support system. And I feel like when you're chasing something, that's very important, you know, because you need that backing of great people around you to keep you sharp and just keep you focused. And of course, even in high school sometimes, you know, I remember like I'll play my beats for some of the people in there, like they'd be like, that's weak. You know what I'm saying? So stuff
I just want to keep you humble.
Like that. Yeah, moments like that, it humbles you, you know, and you need those moments to really grow from because, you know, like, you got to grow from it, you know? And I needed that.
Oh, because when I tell you, wasn't it some I can vaguely remember, but it was some performances that was going on during like an assembly. So they had one of the students go out there and perform. Yeah. A long time. Wow, long time. Oh, humble.
Was it the Black History Month performance?
It could have been. I couldn't even say. It was one of them, but I just remember like so many people going up and performing. And you know how the people we grew up with are very vocal and sometimes rude but honest they are.
Man. It was if you was trash at the spot, you would have been told
would know.
Trash.
You
like
would
at
know.
The time.
Like people actually left.
yeah, he used to leave the show.
I hate to laugh now, but I probably laughed then too. I'm terrible. But I just remember like people going in the middle of the gym, and you have to have so much confidence to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Go in the middle of the entire student population, entire student body. This is freshmen through seniors, right? And to actually go ahead and perform in front of people, and they take you at face value, like, and if you were not good.
Whoo. I remember I think I performed for a second, but it wasn't like, this was before I was even like thinking of doing music for real. But at the time when I did it, I just like my breath, I couldn't breathe. Like when I was looking, it was so many people. I'm like, wow, this is weird. This is weird. Like this is happening right now. So at that moment, I think we was like 17, 18. So we was like mad young around that time.
That was like what, senior year? 17.
Yeah. But it's like at that time, like if we all would have knew at that moment, like this is where it starts. This is really where it starts. This is where the journey starts. Like you have to be that leader and take and really just say, forget everybody in the crowd. Like, do what you do. Be the best of what you could do. At that time, I didn't have that confidence, but now, like, man, we could do 10 of those. We could,
It sounded like it shaped you. It sounded like it shaped you. Like was it a better was it better to actually start back then versus like starting now in your mid-20s?
Definitely, because I feel like it's a stereotype when you're a rapper. People like, oh, you rap, okay, like spit something. I didn't have like I hate when people do that. Like, oh, you spit, like, no, me producing that gave me a way to ease in with a lot of artists. And it helped me gain a lot of relationships with artists because artists need beats, you know. So and plus I never forced music on nobody. I never forced the fact that I rapped on nobody at all. It was organic and it was all natural. And I definitely feel like producing first, it just helped me a lot because it gave me a chance to really find my sound, and it helped me really grow. It helped me really grow up too, you know.
That's what's up. Like, I'm gonna just mark that off my list not to have you just rap or spit something right off there.
Oh yeah, no.
No, I hate doing. So I'm not a rapper or anything like that, but I hate people putting me on the spot too. So I can understand. But as far as music industry goes, right, we have a lot of the older generation who has a lot of comments about our music today, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, music is not the same as it used to be. I beg to differ, all right? They sang it a different way, but it's the same. Yeah. But how do you feel about the older generation coming into this new era of music and them actually adapting to what we're putting out there?
I feel like when older people listen to music now, they listen to the radio. And when you listen to the radio, you hear the same 6 songs. So it's like it's hard to dictate the game from the same 5, 6 songs every day. That's not, it's so much great music out here. Like, it's crazy. You can literally stream. Like, R&B hasn't been this great in a long time. R&B is amazing right now. Hip hop. It's the balance is crazy right now, but you have to really take that time out to search for it. You have to take that time to really dedicate time to look for the artist and be just notified. Put your favorite artist on notice and just always keep an eye out for when they drop them. But if you casual, of course you're getting older, so it's like you're gonna be stuck in your ways. I'm sure. Unfortunately, when we get older, we probably gonna be like, nah, our era was crazy. That's why a lot of people be like, I noticed a lot of people be talking about 2016, all that. Like, music was so great that year. That sounds like when older people talk about the 90s, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like music I don't know, man. It's just, you really got to appreciate it in different ways. It's so much great music out right now, though. It's crazy.
I just miss the collaborations with R&B and rap, like how they come together in songs. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of it anymore like it used to be. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that there's a lot more rappers that's like doing a singy song type of rap or whatever. It could be because of money. It could be like, oh, I don't want to pay that out, so let me go ahead and see how I can put my some on it or whatever. But I know Drake made that very popular at some point too, and it's been carried on.
He changed the game with that.
Yeah, especially like Nicki coming in and everybody else too.
Yeah, I think people seeing like every song he made chart, because it was a point in time where he'd drop a whole album and the whole album would chart. It made people feel like, oh, I got to do that, you know. But people don't realize that's what made Drake great. You know, the fact that he could rap and sing. Everybody don't have to follow that motive. You don't have to force it. You know what I'm saying? I love that era too. Like when you got the lady on the hook and you got the Fabulous, So Into You, the Ashanti joints, like all that. That shit was amazing. And I also feel like it's not in our faces no more. You know what I'm saying? Like we had shows such as Rap City and 106 where we could just turn on the TV and they would have the videos placed for us like every day. And now it's like we got to search for that shit. So like that's what really makes it different.
Yeah, because
you got record labels, like the money not being put into certain record labels, so they're not focusing on me. Hold on.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying like. It's like back in the day, you had certain record labels that had to put money on TV shows. Like they had to get their artists out because that's how they was going to be singing. That's how they was going to sell records. Now it's like the artists are building their base, and more times than not, the artists are independent. So it's like you got to really follow the artists to follow what they're doing. And Like, I don't know. I tried to put my uncle on one artist. He was like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I mean, he cold. Like, check him out." Like, and then he listened to me like, "No, I don't know." But if you would have heard him on the radio, you probably like. So, I don't know.
But I feel like the radio actually just puts out a certain type of music and keeps that playing. Like,
That's a fact.
you know, and I wish that they would put more of, I guess, if we're talking about R&B, for instance, like, let's just use that as an example. If they put out more of like the old, like, I love you type of R&B versus like, let me go ahead and do real quick.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They literally put all of that out there more so than the other side of R&B. Because I love to hear Ari Lennox on the radio, but
Yeah.
I typically don't hear Ari Lennox on the radio. I'm not sure which radio station you listen to. Maybe you hear her a lot. I'm not
None
sure.
of them.
But artists like her
None of them.
more.
It's an agenda. It's an agenda, man. It's made for these kids to be brainwashed.
Yeah.
Listen to these same songs, see everything on the internet. It's really a mind fuck. Like, if you let the kids turn on the radio, I'm sure 80% of the songs is about sex and it's about guns. So it's like, and the kids gonna know that, and they're gonna be 3-4 years old singing that shit, and they're gonna grow into that shit. So it's like, you really gotta monitor and filter all of that stuff, because it's that'll destroy us. They figured that out. They know that, we can control their minds with the radio, because music is so influential. If you use it in a negative way or a positive way, it don't matter. Like, however you do it. Like, you got radio stations saying, put the guns down, then the next song they're playing, it's about guns. So it's like, where's the, it's all meant to happen. So
It's really frustrating, honestly, because I hate to see 3-year-olds or just kids in general growing up with that mentality. So how do you feel about just all of that music? I know you said it's an agenda and all that, but how it's brainwashing, let's go into it a little bit deeper, brainwashing the youth, going out, how are they actually affected by that music in literal terms? Like, based off what you see on news or whatever, like, you can bring it to the table.
now, I'm not saying music is fully the soundtrack to it, but it influences a lot of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't sit and not and act like it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the old man that's hating, saying, "Oh, he's just shooting because niggas saying that on the song." But it's like, man, it's when you got that energy. Music is energy too. So it's like, if you playing that all day, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna put a dark cloud on your energy and your day. So it's all energy really, and it's all a plan. You know, like, I feel like it's all a plan. We can get deep. We can.
I'm here for it. Like, this is what we're here for. We talk about taboo topics. We talk about anything that nobody else want to talk about. We're gonna throw it out there. So get as deep as you want.
I just feel like with all the artists that's been dying, like, for the last 2-3 years, it's weird. Like, it's all an agenda. You know, like, the people that own these labels, like, the people that got money and stocks in these labels, like, they want these rappers to die. They want these people to die. Like, I was listening to a Mace interview on Clubhouse, and he was like, they used to walk in the labels, and he'd be like, "Oh, congratulations, you got a dead rapper." You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
No, they didn't say that.
they said that.
They congratulated.
Congratulations, you got a dead rapper. I'm not surprised, because the world moves with money. Like, as we know, like, the stocks are like the shit right now. Like, the world is moving by money, so they don't care who dies, who lives. As long as it keeps making money and as long as they keep funding whatever they got going on, it's fucked up, but it's happening.
So you said something that kind of like got me thinking, right? Because I saw this somewhere, somebody tweeted. I'm just like, oh, that's an interesting way of looking at things. So you know how FBG Duck passed away, right? And then Ron passed away. First off, let me ask this question. Are they a part of the same? Were they a part of the same company, like record label or anything like that? Do you know?
I don't think they're part of the same label, but two Chicago, man, legends, man. It's sad.
At a very young age.
Very young age. King Von just passed. FBG got a daughter. Like, King Von got kids. Actually, I think he got 2 kids. And it's unfortunate, man.
They do got kids. And it's just crazy to me that, like you were saying before, it's like a lot of these rappers are dying off, and it's just a part of the agenda where they're like, okay, well, if you live in this quote unquote lifestyle, that's how you gonna leave, basically. Yeah, man. And I just don't understand personally how someone could look at that and be like, yeah, that's what I want to do, or that's the lifestyle I want to live, you know?
Yeah.
And this might be my outcome.
And that's kind of how they setting it up at this point. Like, oh yeah, if you be a gangbanger rapper or whatever, like you gonna die. And it just seemed like a lot of people gonna be like, oh yeah, let's do that. Like it's a joke. I don't get it. I know back in the day, some people like to, do the fake gang stuff. And
they'll do now.
Look, murder medicine and all that
it's
stuff.
nasty out here, man.
Yo, but I don't know. I just hate the fact that gang culture changed. And I might get a couple people with this. Gang culture definitely changed because it never used to be like this. It was basically like a community watch in the beginning of its, heyday.
Definitely. Yeah. Now it feels like money just roots everything. If you're not making a certain amount of money, or if you are making a certain amount of money, they're gonna kill you. Just based off of your power, even the closest people around you. And it's just sad, man, because that's when you really ask, like, what are people really living for? Like a lot of people ain't got nothing to lose, and it's just sad out here.
It is. And I just hope that somebody comes into their life and actually be some type of mentor, motivator, something that actually changes that person's life. But it's kind of hard to ask for if it's not that many people living by that example.
Exactly. That's why you'll never hear me talking about guns in my music. You'll never hear me talking about anything like crazy in my music because that's not me. I don't live by that. I'm not a street guy. Not a street nigga. Not in the streets. I'm
just glad you're honest about it.
Yeah, it's just so much more to life.
Yeah. I just love the fact that you're honest about it. You're talking about real stuff, but you also are saying like you don't have to be out there just to be a part of this life.
That's a fact, man.
You feel a wholesome life and still be, in the music career rather. So
yes. Back in the day, you turn the radio on and hit Lauryn Hill, you'll hit Outkast, you'll hit, and none of that was like that type of music. You know what I'm saying? You turn on the radio to uplift the day. Now it's like, it's the same song, so it's no substance, no balance, no none of that.
You don't know how many times I turn off the radio, just listen to my own little mix I got going on. So yeah. So going into that, first, who's your favorite artist right now, and who's your favorite producer? And we talking right now all the time. Like what we like? Both.
Okay, right now. You ever heard of Larry June?
No. He's
cold. Check him out. He like full of positivity. He like a Don Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? He's dope. He got a dope catalog. All the time. Jay-Z, definitely.
Oh, definitely. Okay.
Definitely.
Friends again.
You said now we talking.
Look, come on now. I knew we were friends for
Yeah. Come on now. But just like catalog wise and how he took his career and just off of the examples he set and just showing the people that if you look at his net worth, the least he made was music. But the fact that he decided to take it to another level with his clothing line, the liquor, Rock Nation, like all type of just business ventures and really just streams of income and just being the boss and the leader and just really showing people that it's possible to make it happen.
Does he have a shoe line too? Or
he had a shoe in 03. He had the S. Carter's.
Like it was another shoe though. I don't know.
He had that was when G-Unit had the shoe.
I was like, I know he had a shoe at some point. but
he did everything.
It's just another source of income. And I love him and his message and everything. So we're not gonna get into J. Cole because I can go Haze with J. Cole.
Oh yeah, Cold World, most definitely. No, let's get into J. Cole. What's your favorite Cole project? Like what we doing?
Oh, like I said, you ain't gonna put me on blast like that.
Come on. Okay. It's his birthday. What night?
It's my birthday. No, it's not my birthday.
No, it's his birthday.
It's his birthday?
Yeah.
What is today? Is it the 20th?
January 28th.
Dang. I've been all wrapped up in work and stuff and didn't even know what. Anyway, because I'll keep talking. So, favorite project, honestly, is 2014 Forest Hill Drive.
Amazing.
Because that is actually the one album I can say that I played every day when it came out, back to back, no skips.
Man. That album came out at the perfect time.
It did.
Yeah.
Now, what was going on in your life for you to say that?
Niggas was broke. niggas was taking the train downtown. Niggas was like, man, like when off that intro, I'm like, man, it's crazy when you listen to the album and it take you back exactly to life when you first heard it.
Yes.
2014. And I remember 2014 being kind of a weak year in rap until that album came out.
Yeah.
That down there, like, that set the tone for like shit for a minute.
Yeah, because I don't remember any other project from that year, to be honest.
I don't either.
The next year that made a difference, like you said before, was 2016, especially Summer 16.
Yeah.
You hear that from everybody. It's like, yeah, Summer 16 was the best. What the damn? Like, that was a lit little year right there.
Definitely, yeah. That's when, I think that was when like toxicity, toxic vibes were just at all time high. It was just, man.
That's you was being toxic. That's what you're trying to say. I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
No, next question.
Right. Everything you want to talk about. This is everything. So go ahead.
Everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone, but I should go ahead into it a little bit. Just know, y'all, he was out here being a thot.
Man, I think everybody had some fun last summer. I was one of them. Just music and just life.
Right.
You didn't have to worry about nothing at the time.
It
just felt like everything was brand new. You know what I'm saying?
It was definitely brand new because I was out the state at that point, and I was in New York.
He was in New York with it.
Living my best life, so I understand.
See, look, yeah. See, come on now.
Hey, I was just helping the kids. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as your music goes, what would you describe your style of music as?
My style, it switched over the years, you know. I say when I was starting off, it was more harder, maybe, you know, like 808 driven, because I was younger and just I was loving that type of shit. But it's like now, since I'm more older, it's more like soulful, you know. It's just focus on more soulful samples, focus on more just, I'm trying to bring back the feeling I had when I grew up, you know, like that feeling, that Rockefeller feeling, that early Dipset feeling, you know, like even through the beat videos, I'm trying to bring that feeling back, you know, like as far as just that sampling gospel samples, like really just bringing that soul back. You know, I would say that's my mission. One of my missions, of course, because I still do the hard shit, but it's like really a balance. Just trying to make that balance as much as I can. Soulful music, though, I definitely love soulful music. I'm trying to wave that flag. I'm really trying to grow with that sound because ain't nothing better than the soul at the end of the day.
So when you are doing this, who is that one person that you want to pick up one of your tracks and say, hey, I want to use this for my next project or whatever I got going out, even if it's an EP? Who is that person that you want to call on? Like if they listen to it right now, you're saying, hey, I want you to pick up my music.
Are you talking about like anybody that rap on my beats?
Yeah, rap on the beat, sing on it, whatever. Like who is that artist that you want?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say we got to shoot for the stars, man. We got to go Drake, Meek, Cole, Kendrick. We going for the greats, like the top, the elites, you know, the legends, the legends. I feel like I put in the time and put in enough years to really be able to work with them, and you know, like really just as far as experience and just knowing what comes with the game, and just knowing balance and knowing timing. It's coming, definitely, it's coming.
Because I know you actually worked with. Did you work with G Herbo already in Big Mensa? Or
yeah.
So you already hit big ones, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming with them too. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a great year.
Look,
it's gonna be great.
I did my research.
Man, you see it, yeah.
See, I'm coming with it. But
that song. No, I'm sorry. That song we did something with her. It did 1 million in 5 days. It was called a Real Life Freestyle. It was crazy.
Yeah, I actually have that down right here. I thought I wrote that down wrong. But yeah, because I was looking at Block Boy JB.
Oh yeah, Block Boy. Shout out Block Boy.
Yes.
Definitely.
All of that. That's good. So with that being said, I want to go on to the next question that I have for you. So what is the first thing you listen to or listen for rather, listening to a new recording? So is it something that just sticks out when you are listening to a new recording of yours? Or let me ask a better question, actually. What is something that you that makes a hit in a sense? Like, okay, after you finish this project, this is going to be a hit. This is going to be the one. Like, is there like a certain way you do it in a sense? I don't know how to ask it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You got it. Great question. I would say with this project in particular, I feel like the sonics had to be right. Okay. When I say the sonics, I mean like just emotions, because music is emotion. When you turn on certain songs, you feel it like certain emotions. Like for my favorite artists, I'm sure we got different songs that just takes us back to when we first heard them. You get that feeling. Like just like Drake, Look What You Done. Like, that's one of my favorite Drake songs. Like just off of the emotion and the feeling, like the pianos, not only the rap, but definitely the beat too. It plays a major part because they go hand in hand, So I feel like when you got a project full of those, or at least most of those, you got a serious project. Like something that gives you chills when you hear it, and something that you could really give. It has a life of its own pretty much. You can go a week without listening to it, and when you play it again, it still sounds amazing. And for a fact that people gonna love it over time. And most importantly, you'll love it yourself, because you want to make sure you love it first and foremost. So them sonics, like when you hear it, like certain Kanye songs, like All the Lights, and the whole My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, certain sonics on that album it's top tier. It's crazy.
That's dope. So is there anything that you would have done differently looking back on your career as of right now?
Actually, no, because all of the down days and all of the setbacks are just learning experiences. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of denial letters. A lot of maybe next time letters. But those are the things that really built my character and just really made me believe in the long term. And the fact that I was talking about this with my friend. I was like, we would have got famous at 19. We would have never knew what to do with it. Like now we grew up and we really gained balance and substance, and we really learned the game, and we really learned what's for us and what we're trying to get out of it and what we're trying to leave behind. It's like at that time we didn't have none of that shit. So like now we gained the mental capacity to really know what we up against, and we're really old enough. And I feel like that's what played a major part in Jay-Z's career too, because he dropped his first album when he was 26. So it's like, yeah, that led for his career to be amazing, because he already went through the bullshit of being a teenager, and he already grew from certain situations, and he already went through his shit. He grew up, he came in the game grown. And you notice that, like, compared to a lot of artists today, I feel like that's what make older people look at the game right now, because they see all these younger artists and they just be like, man, they tripping, they wild, they doing shit for the gimmicks and the attention. Mm-hmm. But it's like really they just growing up in front of our eyes, But
it looks like they're actually getting more and more artists who are in their teens or early 20s, right? Like they're 17 going in, or they're 16 going in, and all that. Like, of course, we had plenty of artists that were young, going into the music industry. We have very famous people that went in. Like, shoot, I think Beyonce was 16?
16 at the time. Yep.
And then Michael Jackson, he was like a child.
Nas was 19 when he made his first album. 18, 19.
It just seems like they were more grounded. And I could be wrong, because, it could have just been how we viewed it as of right now versus back then.
You're not wrong, because Tupac, when Tupac died, he was freaking, he was 24, 25. Yeah. So it's like, he been in the game, he died in 96, so he been in the game for like 5 years already. He was 19 making, you feel me, Tupac clips now. Mm-hmm. Already just having them stories, Brandon's got a baby. So it's like, it's in you. It's all, it got to be in your mental. It's all about how you brought up. It's about how you really grown into this shit, how you really grow up, and how your surroundings, He was a Black Panther child too, so it's like now, I don't know, it's different now.
It is different, but it's funny that you bring up Tupac, because he did grow up with that knowledge and that training, right? Because of his parents and everything else, right? But as soon as he got into I'm not gonna say as soon as, once he was in the industry towards the later, years of his life or whatever, it seemed like he got caught up in the bliss of the negatives of the music industry, if you know what I'm saying.
Definitely. Over time, I feel like him getting shot, that played a huge part in that too. Because, like, he didn't really know who to trust. He was paranoid. He ain't had nobody looking over him. And I feel like Suge was probably the first person to come in this corner with money. And that's when Tupac felt like he had to be extra loyal because he over there, he looking out for me, he buying me out, so it's like that's when you close to Suge, so you gotta turn up. And you already, I'm sure you at the time, and he a Gemini too, so it's like you two different sides too. Kanye a Gemini, so it's like it's like a coin flip. Sometimes you on one, sometimes you voice of the people, sometimes you fuck you, sometimes you like you that like different sides of the coin. We see a lot in Kanye and Tupac. We see a lot of Tupac and Kanye too. Just as far as just speaking, not like really just like speaking their mind, like on some like when Kanye was saying, like when he really like when his mind was right, he never held back,
I ain't gonna lie. Some, not everything. Some of the things Kanye was saying, it wasn't too far off. Some. I ain't saying all of them because some of the stuff that he did say was kind of like, hold on now, chill. I understood what he was saying, but do you really feel like, especially with the Kanye situation, right? Everyone now is talking about, oh, you should go and seek help and everything else, right? Early on, before that even happened, because I do believe that his mother passing did play a part of the turn in
for sure.
Kanye, right? Like I said before, Kanye, he did say a lot of stuff that was factual, that related to a lot of us. But when he started challenging certain people, certain groups, whatever, they tried to make it seem like he was just crazy. Do you believe that this man was crazy, or was he actually spitting facts and they just did not want people to listen to him in a sense? Because if you're deemed crazy, then your hold is like,
the media do play as a huge part in like shifting the narrative, but I do feel like it was certain times where he probably was over the edge because that time it was a few times actually, like a lot last decade. Like when he was doing that Sway interview and he was really trying to get the point across with that he was trying to like do clothes. I feel like it was a better way that he could have went about it without just coming off as angry and just like shitting on the people around him. It's like Sway didn't do nothing to like really hurt him. He was just there to help him. Like, bro, like what you mean? Like Kanye just lashed out on him. It's like, bro, well, why did that happen? Like, why you do that? Like, but I don't know, man. It's just like we never seen the shit he's seen before. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to explain. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I get annoyed when I get 10 texts in my phone. So it's like he can't even carry his phone. So it's like I don't know, man.
Yeah,
that power is crazy. Like it's different.
It is, and I couldn't imagine having all that power, to be honest, or just being under the public scope for as long as he has been. Like, honestly, when you said the Sway interview, it plays rent-free in my head. Yeah. I got the answer, Sway. Like, that plays rent-free in my head, like, constantly.
I'm in the white sweater. He thought he was Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of problematic for me when that whole Jesus thing came out. Because I'm like, and that was probably
2013.
Yeah.
He know that too. He knows that. He knows that. You feel that's the thing about it. It's like he knows that and plays with people. Like, so it's like, nah, they going when I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say this.
When I tell you, like, I remember when I first found out about it, like where I was at and everything. When I first found out, and I was like, why in the hell would he call it?
I thought it was a joke.
Look, I thought it was too until I knew it was real. When I found out. You
see now it's like what do you the album Follow God, like, I know man. Follow God, man.
Oh my goodness, we can talk about Kanye for days because now that last project he put out, I think it was the last one, unless it was the one before last. It was the gospel.
Yeah,
he had going on. A lot of people had mixed feelings about it. You've seen a lot of people go to these outdoor park events where the choir comes up and starts singing and everything else, and they're having
Sunday service.
Yes, revival and everything else. I typically don't play with that type of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And honestly, to hear him out, he was, especially if he was for real Christian, he was acting like a new Christian. I'm okay with that. If people actually think of it that way, like he was actually excited about his religion and everything else. Cool.
I'm with that.
I get that. I understand. Trust me. Like you can't come in thinking like, oh, well, everybody's gonna have the same knowledge and the same background you have. And that 20-year plus or whatever it is, knowledge that you have for your particular religion, and then try to judge somebody else based off of theirs, neither here nor there. But I don't know. That whole Sunday service thing.
I wasn't with it.
I wasn't. I really wasn't. Okay. How did you feel about it?
I don't know, man. It's just like with Kanye, I just came, like, just you come to realize that it's just episodes. It's just episodes at this point. I feel like he Kanye, so it's like I'm gonna respect what he's done, but it's like I don't really pay no mind to the stuff after it's as much. Like, so it's like my Kanye is like college dropout, graduation.
Oh, all of ours.
Like the legend. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just really pay attention to the money grabs. Just pay attention to that. Pay attention to the agendas, because it's not about music no more. Yeah, he's a billionaire times 5. So it's like, I'm sure he can care less about dropping another album. It's like,
not. Like, it's wealthy at this point.
Yeah, it's like music is an afterthought. It's like, what's that?
Go Kanye, all right. Go listen to the last album.
Yeah, go listen to my old albums,
right? Like, and still stream it. Like, come on now.
He good, man.
I mean, I still gonna respect the man at the end of the day. So it is what it
Definitely.
is.
Definitely.
He is a classic. But let's go ahead and shift gears real quick, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about video vixens? This is just way off out there. Video vixens and how they're portrayed in music videos and the media and everything else.
Yeah, I always felt like rappers need to just show women more respect, man. Just off top, man. Just as far as the lyrics.
I just want to make sure that the women out there heard that. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. Like just respect, period. Y'all do this shit, man. Y'all the leaders of this shit, man. Y'all shit ain't possible without y'all. So it's like rappers just really gotta just, I don't know, man, just wisen up in their moves and their videos and all that. Stop treating women like items and trophies and all this shit. That's why in my videos I'm just really trying to embrace like women as much as possible. Like just make shit look raw. You know what I'm saying? Like my last video, we was doing like 1990 scenes. It was like clips from Love Jones and really just trying to showcase Black love as much as possible. So
I like that because I want some more R&B artists like Music Soul Child and videos like that almost. I don't know.
Oh, we got him. We got Giveon. It's dope artist.
Love him.
We got a lot of dope artists, but definitely that Music Soul Child feeling is missed because his beat selection was crazy. Exactly. Exactly. His first album was crazy. Oh man. Yeah. Look at you reflecting this shit.
Yes, I'm just like, man, that was a really good album.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the video vixens and all that, I wanted to go ahead and get into America's favorite song right now that I despise.
Dope Baby.
Yes. You know what? Let me tell you when I first heard it, right? Because at first everybody was talking about it. I'm like, what in the world is this song? Because I haven't heard it yet, right? And I feel old because, a lot of music that come out, I got to go search. Like you were saying earlier, I got to go search it just to find it or whatever. And if it's not in my everyday life, if it's not in my view, I'm not worried about it, right? So especially if I'm not listening to that artist already, okay? So when I did go ahead and finally pull it up, I'm like, okay,
you did a lyrical deep dive.
I sat there and pulled up the video. My first impression was the video. The first experience was the video, the original video. So I'm just sitting here looking at the like, are you serious? Like, this is what y'all talking about? People was talking about on Twitter, like, oh yeah, this should be a Christmas carol. Let's go carol. Like, yo.
I think I tweeted something like that too. I think I tweeted something.
God. I hate that song so much because it's so degraded, and I'm just like, I've heard bad songs. Trust me. Well, not really bad, but very out there songs before.
You know what it is?
What is it?
We're just getting older.
It could be.
We're getting older, and we like, man, turn that. Because it always, if you look at every era, it's always been a song like that.
Yeah, it has been, but it's people my age talking about that's that shit. No, it's not. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being an old soul or whatever. But even watching the quote unquote video vixens in the video, right? And they look like they're sitting there. Went to the beauty supply store and got the clothes from there and had it on. I went to Rainbow and was like, "Hey, we gonna turn this out." Like, no, like even the clothes, I could just sit there and look at them like, "Are you serious? This is what y'all put out?" Like they just sitting there in the corner just doing this.
Like it's a different world out here right now. We in like the OnlyFans era. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I ain't gonna knock OnlyFans though, but go ahead. We gonna talk about it.
Yeah. I ain't knocking it either, but it's like, man, every era had that type of song. So it's like when you had certain songs in the strip clubs, they really influenced the radio, and the radio influenced the younger kids. So it's like all the trickle down effect. Whatever you heard in the strip club in the last 15 years, you heard it on radio.
Well, Drake.
They playing at the strip club.
Drake was influenced. T-Pain was in love with a stripper.
Yeah. Mike Jones had an era. He had a run. And
all of that. But golly, like
we getting older.
It's terrible. Yes, but
it's more cringe-worthy when you get older. You like, man.
Cringy. It's very the new video they have out with the baby and City Girls, I believe.
Yeah.
The baby. Have you seen the video?
I haven't seen the preview yet. It was a little too much for me. I was like, no.
I didn't
that type of time.
I was not trying to do it, but I saw the clip of the baby, and
I see they went all out.
All out.
They went all out. Yeah.
I'm still confused. I'm still confused about that entire scene, honestly. Like,
and when older people listen to that on the radio, they're like, "Man, this is what these young kids doing," and that'll put the stain on it to make you think that's what the game is now, and it's so much more. That's how it happens. That's how it happens right now.
I'm so
but like,
God,
if you're in the strip club though, I get it. If we're in the strip,
But read the room. If you in a strip club, read the room.
Nah, definitely.
If I'm on my way to church or a virtual,
they come on around that time too. Yeah, they don't. The radio not hold back
at all. It's
Amen.
like it's Sunday. Jesus. God, Allah, like, please turn the radio. Gosh, okay. I'm just not trying to stress myself out, but yes, that is definitely.
Don't let that stress you out. It's gonna be way worse songs.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Way worse after what I just saw. Great.
It's gonna be way worse songs than that.
Ooh, I'm gonna just stick to my gospel and.
Amen.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that, and then listen to Jasmine Sullivan and Ari Lennox. How do you like Did you listen to Jasmine Sullivan's last Friday?
She's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's saying the same thing.
Okay.
She's singing it though.
Wait. Okay. No. I will say it's different. I will say Throat Baby is very cringy. Jasmine Sullivan is a goddess.
He's amazing.
Outside of that, she did do this project based off of her friends and family.
Yeah.
Little snippets were about or whatever. But it also put a twist on music in general, especially coming from a woman's perspective, because you hear a lot of the other stuff coming from men and how, women's supposed to do X, Y, and Z. This is what you expect of the girl with what the bam. So I guess I really took away from it, like, own your shit in a sense.
Definitely. And she's done something in a long time that hasn't happened in R&B. I feel like she covered it up well, but people who knew what she was talking about, they knew what she was talking about in a sense. It's like, if you listen to a lot of R&B songs, they had like great metaphors to what they was trying to get to, like SWV Rain. They're talking about some whole wild shit, but like, it's a great song. You know what I'm saying? So you can play it around your kids, but all the folks knew what they was talking about. So it's like, I feel like Jasmine Sullivan, she brought that feeling back. Like, it's a good song, but it's like, yeah.
But it is a lot of songs that I listen to now, you know, the old school songs or whatever. And I'm just like, were they talking about that for real?
They was talking about that. Yeah.
Yes. But it's just like you said, how they covered it up.
Yeah.
It was very genius. But, you know, kids could sing it too because they're not going to think nothing of it until you get to our age. And we're like, hold on now. Like, was that what I was singing? And my mama let me sing that? Like, but it's different because the music that we have nowadays is just, hey, we're just gonna put it out there. But it's been songs like that in the past too. We're not gonna just bypass that and make it seem like, oh, this is just a new thing. No, I've known it's a song out there from 1900s, like 1913, 10 or something. And this woman, I forget the name of the song. I forget the woman's name. I can't think of it right now. But she's saying some crazy, you know.
Yeah, she was wild.
I'm going to sit on and do and all this. I'm like,
it was 18, 19. It was like, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Right. So it's nothing.
It's always been that up.
Yeah. It's nothing new. It's always been out there. But I guess because we have so much access to music and social media and everything else, it's becoming more, like we said, accessible to the masses where we can hear it right away. Whereas back then, only that particular group heard it, you know, and then maybe a couple years later, you heard it here, you know, especially if you in like, what's the place it's called? What I can't think of the name of it. It's like a juke joints or something. Am I saying it right?
You talking about skating rinks and stuff?
No, back in the day, where I feel like it's called a juke joint. I could be wrong, but it's like old school type clubs.
Struggle.
No, back in like in the 50s almost. I feel like it's called juke joints. Yes, I'm gonna say the juke joints. It's the same thing as clubs or whatever like that. But in saying that, that music that was played there, kind of like Ma Rainey. I'm pretty sure. Did you see the movie on Netflix?
I heard about it. I gotta check it out.
Okay, so people like Ma Rainey, in that time frame, being like one of the first African Americans or just Black people in general to record at that time. She was able to get her music out there, probably not as far as she wanted or as far as we would expect today's time. But before that time frame where other people like her but didn't get to record, it was only the people in that area that knew about her, or word of mouth. If you're traveling and going to another city or a town or whatever, you'll get your name out like that. But because it's more accessible and everything else, we get to hear all of the cringeworthy stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff too, you know?
Yeah, you turn your phone on, you check the app, so that's the first thing you see.
Sure.
And trust me, it's all happening for a reason.
Oh, facts.
All in the agenda.
Where do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years?
Making movies, writing scores, having beats in NBA commercials, owning a few houses, just owning more property, owning land.
Okay.
Just really just taking stuff to another level. I'll be 36 in 10 years. So it's like, it's a chance we could take it there.
Yes.
It's all mindset. You know, I feel like if you was to ask me that question when I was 16, I wouldn't really know. It's crazy. But now it's like we got the vision now. We got clear perspective. We got the direction. We know our mental is strong. So definitely in the next 2 years, way more than that than I just named, but definitely those are the main things.
Oh, of course. So wrapping this up, before we get on out of here, because I know we can talk for days if we
That's
look
a fact.
right. What would you tell those young boys and girls, and those who do not want to be identified as either gender, right? What would you tell those kids that are coming up in the music industry saying, hey, I want to rap, I want to sing. Shoot, even if I want to dance, I want to act and all that, I want to follow my dreams in general. What would you say to those people who's just starting? And even if they're not kids, they could be our age or older or whatever, and they're kind of nervous about doing that. So what would you tell them?
Don't let nobody discourage you. Record every single step of the way. Grow from it. Dedicate your time to learn about things in that field. Put yourself around people who push you, and put yourself around people who want to see you go further, and really put your faith in yourself and faith in God, and just continue to stay focused. And it's going to happen. I wish somebody would have told me when I first started, record every single year. Record your process. Really just record footage. Man, I wish I just could have footage just to look back on when I first started. Because I feel like that's most important, because you can really look and see how far you came, you know?
Of course, especially the early days too. That would be.
That's a fact.
Oh man, especially when you start doing those movies and whatnot, you need to go ahead and just make your own movie and just be like, this is how I started. This is where I'm at now.
Exactly. We need that for them biopics. It's like when I was watching The Last Dance, I was just amazed to how much footage they had of Jordan.
Yeah.
So much footage. They literally, like, I don't know, like it's like they knew they was making history when they won the first ring. Like everything, he had footage before he won the ring, before he was drafted in the NBA. Everything, like it's perfect. So yeah.
So
but it's never too late.
So you are making sure that everything is recorded as of right now.
Oh, that's a fact. People seeing it firsthand. The beat videos are definitely a great step of where we're trying to take it. And I feel like next is going to be live performances. And soon when the world opens back up, it's going to be live shows just to get more people involved in what we got going on. And then after that, that's when we could start writing scores and movies and music videos and different treatments, and just start renting spaces and just taking things to another level and just really showing people what we can do.
That. So basically what you're telling me is you might want this footage at some point. So I'm going to hold on to it until...
Yeah, hold on to this footage right here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because once I hold that on to it, for a little bit, and you go big or whatever, I can sell it back to you maybe. I don't know. we can figure something out. But I'll definitely have the original... I've been told that every so often, but sometimes I'm serious. Y'all just don't know when I'm serious, that's all.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I do appreciate you for coming on to the show. Thank you so much. And go ahead and let them know where they can find you, and also a little bit more about your album that's coming out soon.
Oh, yeah. First and foremost, I go by Go Haze. Go Haze on the track.com. Go Haze on Instagram and Twitter, YouTube. Go Haze, search that. From here on out, my new project, February 12th, 2021. We're going to continue to keep pushing. I got features on it, such as Joy Park, Goody, Flets, my homie Adam, my homie Evan, my homie Darren. Shout out to the whole team. Really just focus this year. We're going to continue to keep pushing. And thank you so much again. Congratulations to the launch. You got a bright future ahead of you. Keep going.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now say the album drop date again so people that are listening.
From here on out, February 12th.
February 12th, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Barely Adulting Podcast. I'll see you all next week. Have a good one. Be sure to download, like, and subscribe each time a new episode is dropped. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Barely Adulting Pod, and share with friends and family. This is your host, T. Marie, signing off. Until next week. Thanks for tuning in.